Well, this week, thousands of students in our area are experiencing one of the biggest stressors of their lives, starting a new school year. Y'all remember what that's like. So within your child's stress, there are opportunities to help them grow. Mary Jo Horton is using her expertise as manager of behavioral health at Memorial Health to help us figure out how to actually do that and access those opportunities for growth. So you say it first starts with understanding stress and change, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, stress and change is definitely going to impact your body, your mind, your mood. And really tuning into it and not ignoring it gives you the map to figure out how you're going to work through it and not avoid it.
And this is for all kinds of stress. We're talking about students today, but this is a general topic for adults and students.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think the idea is rather than try to avoid stress and change, the question is how do I navigate stress and change in a way that's healthy?
And stress, the stress and anxiety you get from the change, that's indicative of some underlying issues.
Yeah,
usually.
absolutely. So let's think about it. If we suffer some social anxiety or maybe some depression or just things that make us very uneasy, anytime we put stress in that environment, those things are going to magnify.
Okay, and so you know, we talk a lot about mindfulness, and you say mindfulness is one of the keys here.
Mindfulness is one of the keys.
Yeah.
I'm also very big into how is your body communicating with you. So when you start to notice I have a headache and I don't know why, I'm tired, I'm just not feeling myself, I always offer that maybe your body is trying to communicate to you that something emotionally is going on.
That was my next question, is there are triggers, there are indicators emotionally and physically.
I don't think we need to ignore our body at all, right? And so if we think about our aches and pains, our shoulders, our back, our stomach, if we think about where do we physically feel anxiety, that's in our body. So when our body is expressing these things to us, it's our job to listen.
So it's like when you go to get a massage, and a lot of people, they're like, oh, right in here.
Yes.
That's stress. You're carrying stress there.
That
Those
is
little
stress.
balls of muscle is stress.
Absolutely. And so also, you know, sometimes they touch on places that we didn't know was stress. So that means our body's been carrying this around the entire time, and we haven't been tending to it, which is just going to make us feel worse and not help us learn what to do with the stress.
Taking that back to students, because students have the same reaction.
Absolutely.
So students can carry it here. I remember in school I used to have stomach issues.
Absolutely.
Bubbling up acid, all of that.
All of those things. You know, if your kid was not experiencing these physical symptoms during the summertime when they were eating whatever and sleeping into whatever. If they now don't feel well, it's probably the stress.
Okay, so let's talk about building resiliency around stress. And I think it's important to point out that's what you're saying do. Build it around the stress instead of trying to block the stress from your child.
So let's think about what happens.
Yeah.
We're under stress, and unfortunately sometimes what we try to do is then avoid stressful things. Avoid, hide. With our kids and children that we love, we try to remove the stress from them. That is just harmful in the long term. The question is to say, I see that you're stressed. How can we figure it out? How can we navigate? How can you learn to move through it?
And I think that top point there says, you know, stress, it's normal, it's an experience that can be positive. We never talk about stress being positive, though.
But think about it, resilience is made through struggle. If we never struggle, how do we learn how to be strong?
Okay, that's true. Teaching how to adapt, rethink, and adjust is important for kids.
Yes, we need to teach them skills to make it through life.
Okay, and then modeling how to regulate and lean into strength is powerful, but that means as a parent you got to kind of have it together too, right?
That's correct. I mean, we're being watched. Everybody's picking these things up, modeling them. If we are not working through stress in a way that's helpful and productive and fulfilling, then how are we possibly going to teach that?
So this is a whole family thing. I mean, really it is,
As human beings, we are picking up from one another. It always all starts with us.
Okay, and then that last one, it was change is best navigated with a helpful routine. I struggled with giving myself routines, sticking to it, the discipline of that.
You know, I always like to say plans fail, people do not. If your routine doesn't work for you, you're not doing something wrong. Let's adjust your routine.
Adjust the routine.
Adjust the routine.
Okay, all right. Mary Jo, thank you so much. I'm sure there's some parents out there who are listening who I hope this was helpful for you. Always good to see you. It's been a few weeks. We haven't seen each other yet. All right.